Hey guys, I'm Nick. Welcome to the Omniverse of Nick and the continuing story, part 4, to What If Pikkon Was Wished Back in Dragon Ball. We are getting on to Resurrection F, but before we get started, be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the Omniverse of Nick, and check out the About tab and homepage and everything else the Omniverse has to offer. With that said, let's get started. We open up where we ended off last time. Resurrection F getting started. All the Z fighters are there fighting. And Tagoma, I know I do this on and off sometimes. Sometimes I'll do the Tagoma outing where he just dies to Frieza on the ship. Other times I'll include his actual Dragon Ball Super outing, and it's going to complicate things even further when we get into the frickin' Dragon Ball Super remake. But point is still, this Tagoma is the one that trains with Frieza. And Piccolo takes out Shisami and Tagoma with the power of the third eye. So they are no match. Ginyu, frog form, shows up to the scene. And this time it's even more complicated for him to switch bodies. He could do it to Bulma again, but she and everyone else here would suspect that. So Ginyu goes for someone they'd never expect. Jocko. And Jocko has no answer. So, with Ginyu Jocko posing, nobody suspects a thing. They just think Jocko's acting crazy. And then Jocko's like, I need to return to headquarters immediately, Bulma. And yes, Bulma would protest to this and think Jocko's being a coward, but he actually looks serious. So Bulma's like, okay, go ahead. But you better not be ditching us just so you can run away. And Ginyu Jocko's like, of course not, Bulma, but this is urgent. And he just heads off in his spaceship. But then puts on a scouter from one of the dead guys. Nobody suspects a thing. And this confirms Ginyu Jocko, which is actually much more awesome and cool than I originally made it out to be. So he returns to the headquarters, and all the Galactic Patrol is there and wondering why, what's up with Jocko, what's going on, and why he has the scouter on his face. But then Jocko talks to one of the other Galactic Patrol members, all from the manga, obviously, and he says, you mind letting me in to the Galactic Prison? I want to pay a visit to one of the prisoners. And the other guy's like, okay, Jocko, go ahead. But he is thrown off by this. And he goes to the prison cell of Moro. Yeah, that's right. We're getting Ginyu Jocko and Moro. The first time that I'm including Moro and what you're going to see. I know I've included Ultra Ego and Black Frieza, but with the manga and Granola and Ultra Ego and all that stuff actually becoming canon this and next year and onward, that means I can finally include that stuff in my stories. Meanwhile, Frieza has resorted to his fourth form against them all. And he is still posing a good threat, even though Piccolo has the third eye. And before Piccolo can even transform, or Pikkon or anybody else can do anything, Goku and Vegeta arrive, and Goku fights Frieza in his blue form, and Frieza goes golden, but Goku's far more serious, and a slightly different Goku, not too much different, but Pikkon and circumstances in general means that Sorbet is not able to shoot his laser successfully. And Vegeta goes blue and instantly goes for the kill on Frieza. Frieza loses his power, and Vegeta gets the kill on Frieza that was justly deserved. I've done this before, more or less, but especially in my Immortal Vegeta story, he gets the kill on Frieza that he deserved. And Pikkon gets to see Blue Goku full front and center. So this would be amazing for the two of them to talk about the God form and the blue form and everything like that, and Pikkon's journey with his Super Pikkon Mystic form. And yeah, everybody gets adjusted to what they have like accomplished and uh gained in this time. And we get on to the Universe 6 versus 7 tournament. Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo with the third eye, Gohan, and Pikkon are all going to compete. Meanwhile, we get Ginyu, Jocko, and Moro having a discussion. Moro obviously very thrown aback that a galactic patrolman is here and he's willing and smirking evilly to talk to him. But he obviously can't do anything, so he hears him out. Ginyu says in Jocko's body, "The great planet eater Moro, it's an honor to meet you. I am the great Captain Ginyu of the Ginyu Force that serves the now sadly departed resurrected Lord Frieza," because he would have detected that Frieza died and heard what happened on his scouter. Matter of fact, that's half the reason why he took it, rather than the fact that it's like, you know, the Frieza Force mantra and like the Ginyu Force, and you guys get the point. And then Moro speaks up and he says, "If you're the great Captain Ginyu, why do you possess the Galactic Patrol Jocko's body? And what are you here for, if not for your dead boss?" And Ginyu speaks up and says, "How would you like to get out of this cell forever?" Meanwhile, we are at the Universe 6 versus 7 tournament. Goku beats Botamo and gets poisoned by Frost. But then Piccolo and Frost fight, and with the third eye, Frost has absolutely no answer. His poison, his abilities, nothing. Isn't like absolutely nothing. And then Frost's poison is found out even after he loses, mind you. And that just gives more leeway to the fact that he lost completely, and it reinstates Goku. But, you know, Frost still did lose. Then we get Piccolo versus Kaba, and I feel that Kaba, in this situation, because of who Piccolo is in this timeline, unlike other outings of like people that are not Saiyans, I feel like Kaba would learn Super Saiyan here, just based on who Piccolo is in this story. I feel that it's justified, and to give Kaba something. Then we get Hit versus Piccolo, and even with the third eye, it takes Piccolo to get to his orange form before he actually starts to mount something against Hit. Yes, the third eye is the most broken thing, basically, in Dragon Ball that we know of, or at least one of the mains, but it doesn't mean that it actually, like, preserves Piccolo an opportunity to figure out Hit's time skip and get an edge on him until he transforms into his orange form. And this is also not the first time I've had these two fight. So Piccolo, once he gets into his orange form and with the third eye, he actually begins to mount an offense and greatly defend and figure out Hit through and through. But then Hit starts to mount more of his time skip and actually like evolve it and power up. But Piccolo just waits for the right opportunity when Hit's guard is down during the time skip, and he one-shots him with his strongest punch, and this knocks Hit clean out of the ring. Afterwards, Zeno and Goku meet, and the talks about the Tournament of Power come up, and we are going to touch into something that very few stories in on this Omniverse I actually touch upon. Besides the Bardock Super Saiyan 1-parter, few Vegeta stories, and very, 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 very few other tales. The Goku Black Arc. What's going to be different here? How different is it going to go? What will Pikkon, Piccolo the Third Eye, Ginyu, Jocko, Moro, and so on bring to the table with all these changes and the resurfacing of Pikkon's wishing back story? Find